Wyatt liked to watch the ships and boats that arrived in the port. He would sit on the quayside and observe the people loading and unloading objects from far-off lands. He shouldn't really have been here today, as he was supposed to be buying fresh milk, but he could never resist a few minutes to see what ships were in. Today, Wyatt had even carried his baby sister Nora down to show her the tall ships and fishing boats. He spent some time telling her stories about where he thought the ships had sailed from before at last he headed off to buy the milk. However, he had not walked that far when he spotted a group of burly sailors walking towards him, led by a man with a big black beard and an even blacker hat. Wyatt thought they looked like trouble, and so, clutching Nora tightly, ducked behind a stack of crab pots.
"Where is he then?" said the big, hairy sailor.
"Here he comes now, Captain," said another, this one with a bald head and a tattoo of a giant squid on his chest. Because of where Wyatt was hiding, he couldn't see who they were talking about, but he could hear a voice.
"Hi," said the voice. "Are you the pirates?"
"Shh," said all of the sailors at once. "Nobody's supposed to know. They'd throw us in jail if they knew we were here," said the man Wyatt knew was the captain. "Now, have you bought the map?"
"Indeedy-doody," said the voice cheerfully. "Here it is."
Wyatt could see something being passed across. It was a piece of parchment that the captain carefully unrolled to reveal a hand-drawn picture of an island with a big cross. There was a word written on it, but it was almost completely smudged. "What's this here word?" demanded the captain. The bald sailor leant in for a look. Tree. That's all I can read, 'cause the rest is all messed up. But I bet it spells treasure." "He," giggled all the pirates with glee, some of them rubbing their hands together. "Well done, me lad," said the captain to the person who had brought the map. "You're now one of the crew. Now, come on, we set sail on the next tide." It was at that moment that Nora, fascinated by a seagull that was resting nearby, blurted out, "Birdie!" Before Wyatt could even think about running away, a big hairy arm with an anchor tattoo had grabbed his shoulder and hauled him out amongst the pirate gang. "What have we here? A spy? You better be coming with us," said the captain with a sneer. As Wyatt was dragged up to the waiting ship, still holding Nora, he could finally see the owner of the voice who had brought the map. And much to his surprise, he realized it was a dinosaur wearing a striped shirt and a knitted hat. Wyatt and Nora had been bundled below deck and weren't allowed out until the ship was well out to sea. With nowhere to run to, Wyatt was allowed to walk around on deck and could see a real ship in action with its enormous sails catching the wind. Under normal circumstances, this would have captivated Wyatt, as he loved ships. But instead, all his attention was on the new crew member. The dinosaur had been given a bucket and a mop and was currently scrubbing the deck. Hi, said Wyatt nervously.
"Well, hello to you," said the dinosaur with a flash of big teeth. "Is that your little sister?"
Wyatt nodded. "Her name's Nora. I'm Wyatt."
"And I'm Carlos," said the dinosaur.
"Can I ask you a question?" asked Wyatt.
"Go right ahead," smiled Carlos. "I'm happy to help."
Wyatt gathered his courage. "Well, you're a dinosaur, right?" Carlos suddenly looked worried.
"Oh, is it obvious?"
"Well, yes," said Wyatt, looking at the dinosaur's three-toed feet and long tail.
"Oh dear,"
said Carlos, patting his striped shirt.
"I thought this was a brilliant disguise. Does everyone know?"
Wyatt looked around him. All the other pirates were going about their duties and nobody was paying them any attention at all. In fact, nobody had commented upon Carlos being a dinosaur back on the quayside either.
"Do you know what?" said Wyatt. "I don't think anyone else has noticed."
"Then it's our secret?"
asked Carlos hopefully.
"Okay," agreed Wyatt. "Nora and I won't tell anyone."
They sailed for many days and many nights until one day, with the sun barely over the horizon, they came upon an island. One of the pirates spotted a sharp reef surrounding it, so the ship was anchored offshore and a small crew of treasure hunters were put into a rowing boat. These included the captain, the sailor with the squid tattoo, a female pirate carrying a shovel, and Carlos.
"Bring the children too," ordered the captain. "They might be useful."
By the time they had reached the beach, it was mid-morning. Wyatt placed Nora on the soft sand while the captain consulted Carlos's map.
"I reckon it's that way,"
said the captain, pointing towards the island's center. And so they headed off, hunting for treasure. They moved through the thick jungle where strange birds screeched and unusual plants grew. It was very hot and sticky, and Wyatt felt as if Nora was getting heavier, but they trudged on regardless, led by the pirate captain.
"See that funny-shaped rock?"
said the captain, pointing to a boulder atop a cliff.
"That tells us the treasure be nearby."
And when they pushed through a particular heavy curtain of palm leaves, what they found instead was a village. Stranger still, out of one of the wooden huts emerged a Tyrannosaurus.
"Mom!"
shouted Carlos, pushing past the captain and throwing off his knitted hat.
"I'm home!"
"Carlos, my little adventurer!" shouted the Tyrannosaurus as she embraced her son in a warm hug. The captain's jaw was hanging open.
"That pirate's a dinosaur," he said. "I don't understand."
"Please, may I look at your map?" asked Wyatt. The captain handed it over, looking dumbstruck.
"I think I can see the problem," explained Wyatt. "This smudged word doesn't say treasure. It says T-Rex village."
"Thank you so much for bringing my Carlos home safely," beamed Carlos's mum. "Now, won't you all stay for lunch?" Nobody was about to argue with a T-Rex. And so that's exactly what they did. They all sat outside and were joined by many other Tyrannosaurus villages. They ate and drank and talked. Then Carlos's mum disappeared into her hut and returned with a small bag, which she handed to the captain.
"What's this?"
he asked, tipping the contents out into his hand. It was full of brightly colored jewels. "That's payment for bringing my Carlos home," said his mom.
"So pretty,"
said the captain.
"Yes,"
said Carlos.
"We find loads of them around here."
"Are you two pirates as well?" Carlos's mom asked Wyatt, who was balancing Nora on his knee.
"Oh no, not us,"
said Wyatt.
"We were just, helping."
Carlos's mum smiled. "Well, that's very kind of you. You will see that they get home safely, won't you, Captain?"
"Oh, absolutely,"
he grinned, still staring at his treasure. Later that evening, a group of Tyrannosauruses gathered on the beach to see the rowing boat off.
"Thank you for keeping my secret,"
said Carlos to Wyatt.
"My pleasure,"
replied Wyatt as the boat pulled away from the shore in the light of the setting sun. The end.
So that you don't miss a single episode, just click that subscribe button.